Hi there. Nice to meet you. I am Agent Orange. Apologies for my lateness. It is kind of a job requirement. So, anyway, I'm sure that you are probably wondering what is going on right now. Well, just to clarify, in case anything was really unclear on your way in, you are presently a newly deceased person, or newly dead as we call it down here. So I'm sure that you have a lot of questions, and we have a pamphlet that will explain everything to you. Did you want me to go through this with you? Okay, so as you can tell by the title, it says, "So You Went to Hell." It is a very practical guide for the questions that you're probably asking yourself right now. I won't go through it in incredible detail with you, but just to get the basics out of the way. So, first page, am I in hell? Yes, you are. Welcome. We're so happy to have you here. Hell is a unique place that is consistently growing and changing to accommodate the sins of each and every individual that we have down here, and who make hell its new home. We have a vast and varied landscape, and oftentimes this can lead to confusion on the part of the newly dead, as the fact that much of the time the descriptions that religious institutions is often not correct. We also are continuously doing updates, renovations, so it is very unlikely that across time and within culture, religion, region, doesn't really matter. It's pretty much never what you expect, and that is, in fact, what we want. We really establish ourselves on not only meeting whatever expectations you have for hell, but surpassing them. Alright, that makes sense. It's probably why things seem very unfamiliar right now. So, next up, this must be a mistake. It's not. It is not a mistake, I assure you. Very rarely do people get here and believe that this is where they are supposed to be, with the very few and far between person understanding that this is exactly where they belong. Now, most people, I would say, tend to be in the understanding that they end up down here because of certain actions that they took, or certain lifestyles that they had, when in fact it is actually the intention behind those actions that really matter. Correct. So people tend to be like, "Oh, I don't even know how I got here. I did all those wonderful, helpful things." But really, if you're doing charity work so you get a lot of praise for what a kind person you are, right out the window. You might as well not have done it at all. Which is why confusion is just bonkers when people first get here. But rest assured, it is not a mistake. You are here, and we have a very, very intensive sorting system that we use here. It has never flawed or failed since its inception way back when. So, what now? Great question. Now, you know the saying, there's a special place for you in hell? Well, in a way, that is actually true. We assign an agent to each and every individual that comes in. In this case, myself, Agent Orange. I am your agent, and I am here to help sort you through this process to make sure that it is most efficiently and smoothly done. So, what I do is I kind of explain the whole layout of hell, and I will also help you find your newest place of residence. There's actually quite a few to choose from. However, some people expect they're going to get a particular type or place, and it really does depend on a grading system that we have down here as to what is available for you and what you can afford, which is nothing currently, but we do have work programs that you use to pay off your residence and accommodations. More or less, it's a indentured servitude for eternity, but I wouldn't worry about that now. We can get to that a different day. So, we also want to make sure that your tortures are appropriate for you and that they match your sins. So, we like to look everything over, get a good idea of who you were as a person and who you have the potential to be as a newly dead individual. So, I'm sure a lot of this feels shocking and confusing. Trust me, on behalf of hell and all of its residents, we get it. We understand. You probably still think that there's an issue. Again, I'm just going to really drive this home. Not a mistake. Not a mistake at all. It's definitely, this is where you're supposed to be. But if for some reason you don't accept that after this meeting and you want to contest that or make a complaint or somehow try to escape your inevitable doom, we do have some resources on here. You can also call this number. The line is always busy, so people have a very hard time getting through and often end up waiting on the line for eternity. So, something to think about. If you really want to get stuff done, I suggest going to the front office. We have a wonderful secretary there. I wouldn't even call her a secretary. She's way more than that. She really sorts people coming in and out. She manages this place flawlessly. Love her so much. She is very strict about paperwork, so do not forget it under any circumstances. And there will be a lot of it. Some of it will be dangerous and will definitely burst into flames in your hands or try to escape it at any point in time. Some of it just disappears for no reason. It's really difficult to keep it in your care, but do not show up without your paperwork or she will not like that, okay? So, I will just let you have that. Definitely give that a good look through. It's also written by hand by a lot of doctors and toddlers, so it's borderline illegible. It's going to take a while, just so you know. Now, as a discussion of your potential living quarters, just to get your bearings, I'll also give this to you to take home with you so you have a bit more of an understanding about the way it is set up down here. So, as you can see, we do have several rings to hell. Starting with the outermost layer, that is limbo. That is what you're in right now. Now here we do all the sorting of the individuals that have come through. And then each of the layers all the way to the middle have a designated prime sin that they are mostly used for. Now, due to the high number of individuals that we get on a daily basis, we have kind of really tried to expand down here, be a little bit looser with our rules and guidelines of where exactly you can stay in here. These two center rings, those are our silver and our gold plans. Those are for some of the most horrible people. So we do take extra good care of them. However, they are much more difficult to gain access to. I believe you do qualify for one of them, though, but we will get into that as I take you through all of your potential possibilities. Now, that being said, we actually do also have our own transit system. We do charge for that, so just keep that in mind when picking out a residence as far as how you may or may not be able to get access to your work. And absolutely, we do keep you busy down here. There is essentially no time to rest or have any moment of relaxation or respite from anything, honestly. Okay? Like, this is the best it's going to be the entire time. Alright, now you do have quite a bit of peppering of sin, I noticed. So I was very thorough in going through to see exactly what you had available. Now, I know most people come in with an idea that they want something seaside or lakefront, 2 stories larger, house, lots of room, climate controlled, walk-in closets, definitely furnished, because obviously you don't have any money to pay for anything right now. I'm not going to be able to do virtually any of that in all of the places, so I'll just walk you through them and we can see what is sounding good to you. Also, you are not going to be able to see any of these locations. That's because, honestly, this is how the less information the better, is how we see that in a way. Okay, so first up in the second ring of hell. So this is limbo, first ring, second ring. So this one, honestly, spacious, gorgeous ranch style home. It does come fully furnished, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, walk-in closets, perfect for a starter individual such as yourself. Obviously, the amount of bedrooms you're not going to need, so if you do decide to do a work program, you can transfer one of those bedrooms into a office if that's what you'd like. This particular home is located in an uninterruptible cyclone. and none of the furnishings are locked down at all. So I would say keep that in mind. It does tend to be a little chaotic in there, and there is quite an extensive amount of exterior damage on the home itself. The other thing that I would say, a little bit of a warning with this particular location, is if you tend to get, like motion sickness really easily, maybe this would not be the property for you. So, how does that sound? Okay, not really, not digging that one. Okay, no problem. Next one, third layer, a little bit smaller than the first one. It is just a one-story. It is a awesome choice if you are looking to escape the heat from the hellfires down here, which are constant and everywhere, it seems like, these days. Oh, so it is really good. It has its own air conditioner. It does only work within the temperatures of negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit to negative 100 degrees Fahrenheit, so it does get pretty chilly. You might want to bring a sweater, but no heat at all, so you don't have to worry about that. It also is furnished with the most beautiful ice furniture you have ever seen. Handcrafted, just absolutely gorgeous, frigid cold, but so beautiful. I can't even tell you. Now, remember what I was saying before with commute? This one's a little tricky. If you aren't used to, traveling in winter weather or icy rain, pretty much getting buried in wet, icy slush, this could be a difficult place for you to get back and forth from work. I know it's not a problem for everybody, but it is something that I like to bring up when discussing this particular property. So, how are we feeling about that? Okay, again, not for you. Maybe something a little bit like more high end. Okay. Now, this is in the fourth ring. Talk about luxury. Absolutely covered in gold from top to bottom. Just absolutely stunning. This place also comes with its own pool, so you want to get away a little bit, you want to, take a dunk, this is the place for you. Now, it is a whirlpool. I hope that is not a deal breaker. And also, the pool is made of molten metal, but that metal is gold, so it's just super luxurious. Same with your house. Your house is also made of molten gold and located in the whirlpool. Yes, it's actually just a molten metal pool, but gold. But it's gold. Still gorgeous. What do we think? Still a no. Okay. All right. Moving on. You strike me as someone who would want to be riverside. Am I right? I knew it. I can tell. Kind of want to be where the action is a little bit, right? Well, can't get any closer than this. So, this property, beautiful riverside home. Honestly, it just opened up, so we just had a vacancy. Doesn't come up very often, but it is located right in the River Styx. So it overlooks everything. You essentially get to see all the newcomers, which is so much fun. So all the dead coming in that are like, oh, what's happening? So much fun. And as I said, talking about being where the action is, being a part of everything, there is literally war happening outside your home pretty much all the time. Lots of wailing, just torment and brutal fighting that's going on around you constantly, 24/7. It's very loud there, I will say that, but that's just part of being, right in the hub of where everything is. But it is happening like 24/7, so you're never going to feel left out of anything. So, what do we think? Okay, something a little more isolated then. Okay. Well, I don't offer this one to everyone because it is located in between a lake of boiling blood and also essentially a huge fiery desert, but in between those two, absolutely stunning land, I will tell you that. So, talk about isolated. You are secluded from everything else, but you are set right in the middle of just a gorgeous, enchanted forest. Absolutely all types of flora. There's a lot of fae and fairy folk that live there. You are very much encouraged to interact with them all the time. So that's super exciting. A lot of things here are like off limits or, big no-nos. But here you're actually encouraged to interact with your surroundings, which is so nice for a change. And, small thing about this place is that it does creak a little bit, and sometimes you might feel that it's a little tight for you. And that's only because it is enveloping you in wood to essentially cocoon you until you transform into an actual tree yourself, where you'll be consumed by the fauna around you every day. Yeah, but right off the bat, super nice, like so much fun. You do get eaten alive every day. Yes, that's correct. But I think after a while you get kind of used to it. Not the worst. Not too much heat, not too much cold. It's actually very nice climate there. Okay. So not that far out. Okay. But still a little secluded. You kind of like minimalist stuff? I have a great 1-bedroom, no bathroom, type tomb located in the 6th layer of hell that just came available. Talk about minimalism. This is the place for you. There's absolutely nothing there but you and those walls. So, you've got a lot of time to think. There's nobody there really to bother you. All of your neighbors are entombed in their own coffins type deal away from you. The screams are a bit hushed because they're enclosed quite a bit, like yourself will be, so you don't have to worry about that much noise. There is a raging fire happening around them pretty much all the time, though. But, as far as just getting some alone time, wonderful location, honestly. Now, see, you say it's like living in an Iron Maiden, where I say it's kind of like living in a chrysalis while you turn into a butterfly. I guess it's just how you look at it. Okay, so nose all the way around so far. Okay, well, the last one that I have to offer you on this list is one of our more high-end properties. So this one is located in the 8th ring of hell. Now, the 8th ring is right here. It does have a cliff here that's pretty steep and kind of endless, but you have a real close contact with the Lord of Darkness himself, so you're in very close proximity. It's very hard to get into these properties, but if you qualify for one of the suburbs through your sins, which, as I said before, I did do a little research in, you qualify for one of them, lucky you. You can take a gander. Now, your particular one that you qualify for is the 9th pit. I like to call it the 9th suburb. You know, we're not great at names down here in hell. Things don't sound that exciting or pretty. But, you know, whatever. It is set up, however, like a traditional middle-class suburb. So you've got houses, all generally look pretty generic. You're very close to grocery stores, schools, if you want to start a family. Just a very nice, normal living space. You know, lots of room in the houses, I believe. All of them in Pit 9. It is a 2-level, so there are 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Also comes fully furnished. The skies, however, they do stay dark, but you know that's pretty typical for hell. So, you know, a small beans. Now, this particular section of the 8th ring is reserved specifically for people who sow discord, gossip, you know, cause a lot of scandal. So it is primarily filled with essentially a lot of Karens, older politicians, and a lot of really insecure teenagers. So pretty much the worst of the worst people. Quite annoying. I will say that you're kind of constantly fighting with everybody all the time over very small issues, incredibly small things that should not matter, that are very clear that don't need to be argued or disagreed with, but you know, it happens. It happens constantly and continually, but the area itself, one of the best. We also have a package deal with this where, because you are located within the inner 2 most rings, you get free transport on our Garian system, our public transportation. So he's kind of there to take you wherever you need to go if you do happen to need to go somewhere. So, you know, getting to and from work is much, much easier. Kind of a little extra perk. So, that being said, I did look just in case to see if you might be selected for the 9th ring, but unfortunately it is incredibly exclusive. Obviously, Satan picks out those people himself. So he likes to keep them around in that frozen lake, like little trophies. So he only wants to pick kind of like the best of the best, or should I say the worst of the worst. So it's very difficult to get in there. However, every now and again, sometimes he gets annoyed with some of the folks there, and a spot opens up. And you are more than welcome to fill out and put an application to there today if you would like to do that. However, you typically don't hear back from anyone for at least a millennia or two, so don't get worried if you feel like you've been down here for a while and nothing has changed or happened. So that is what I can offer you today as far as housing options go. And as I said, we can always, once you get settled, discuss your work torture program, which, as I said, will be an exchange of currency as to your residence. So, where would you like to be located?